it's Teacher Carrie here, and I'm back with another MiniCam tutorial. So if you are watching live, be sure to say hi when you pop in, and if you're watching the replay, please type replay in the comments for me so that I know that you watched this video. Of course, feel free to type any questions that you have in the comments below and start a chat up with our community. I'm sure by now you might be a little bit sick of seeing my face, but as you might have been able to tell, I really love teaching teachers, and I have a passion for sharing these tutorials about ManyCam. And today I want to focus on how to integrate Google Slides, props, and rewards into your ManyCam video feeds. Now, since this video is specific to VIPKID teachers, I felt that it would be a little more appropriate to share it here in our ManyCammers group than it would be to make on my new YouTube channel, but please go check that out if you need more information and tutorials. And I was finding when I was trying to film this video on not a live video, just a recorded video, that I was really struggling because I had a lot of caveats that I wanted to say. So I thought pressing that live button and just jumping in here on Facebook would be the best option because it will force me to just keep on talking. So here we are. And I can see that there might be some people watching. Say hi in the comments below. So I do want to give you a few caveats. I do use two computer monitors when I use Google Slides, Proper Rewards with my VIPKID and MiniCam. Although I'll show you today how you can do it if you're just using one single monitor. And of course, I'm a Windows or PC computer person. So if you have questions specifically related to Mac, I'm probably not going to be the most help for you, but be sure to go searching on YouTube. There's a lot of tutorials out there. I'm really, of course, not the first or only person to have ever made a tutorial about integrating Google Slides into your MiniCam. And one of the administrators of this ManyCammers group, Teacher Sam, has some really great tutorials on YouTube. She really helped me get started as I was first learning how to use MiniCam, but we do things a little bit differently. So of course, it's always a good idea to watch more than one tutorial because you might find someone that you really click with and that you kind of understand the way that they think about things and do things. So I might not be the best person to watch the tutorial from your standpoint, but I will do my very best. So let's go ahead and get into it. Of course, I do use a green screen with my MiniCam, although you can use Google Slides, props, and rewards if you're not using a green screen, and we'll talk about how those might be different as we go through our tutorial today. So, with all those caveats said, let's jump over to my MiniCam tutorial screen, and we'll just take a quick tour of what we can see here. Of course, down below me, these are our MiniCam preset boxes, and off to the right-hand side, this is my main MiniCam menu. Now, when I'm teaching in VIPKID, of course, all I can see is this sort of artificial views of MiniCam so that you can see all the buttons that I'm pressing. So I've built out these presets just to film this video for you today. So your MiniCam might look differently, and I'll show you where I would place my Google Slides, props, and rewards as we get going. And of course, you really want to check out that official Google Slides Facebook group and head on over to the announcement tabs if you've not used Google Slides before, or if you have any questions. They're really the experts over there. And I'm just going to show you today what I like to do as I get started with my Google Slides, props, and rewards. So, hello, I can see people watching. Say hello if you type to me. I should be able to see you as I'm talking here. So, let's go ahead and get started. Of course, the first thing that we need to do is just find our Google Slides, props, and rewards that we want to use. So I thought with New Year's here, Happy New Year's, by the way, everyone, I would just choose this cute little New Year's Around the World Google Slide. This is an extension reward, and I found it using the SlideKick web app. Again, head over to that official Facebook group for Google Slides. They'll help you get started there. I do use the SlideKick app. I've just never been much for using the planner. I know it can do amazing things. I just honestly find this easier for me, and I only teach 6 classes back to back, so it's pretty easy to manage doing it this way for me. But you just want to search around and find the reward that you might want to use. It could be holiday related, or maybe an interest of your student, or of course just tied to the lesson. So you're going to have to use those announcement tabs in the official Facebook group for Google Slides to really figure out how to use them. But once you've found them, what you want to do is display them on your computer desktop. So let me give you a quick tour of my computer desktop so I can show you what all I have going on here. Now, I do have a video on YouTube showing how I set up my computer desktop when I actually teach with VIPKID and ManyCam and Google Slides, because this view that I'm giving you today is a little bit different just so that I can film this tutorial. So if I slide myself over here, this little box here is actually the live Facebook video. So hello, I can see people watching. Type hello. And above me here, this is my MiniCam screen. And then off to this side, this box right here is a Google Slide reward that I've placed just on my first monitor, because I do want to show you how to do it if you only have one monitor. And then off to the far right here, this Google Slide is the same one, but instead of it being all on my first monitor, I've just slid it off to my second monitor so I can show you how I display them using my 2-monitor system. So I hope that sort of makes sense. But what we want to do once we have found the Google Slide that we want to display, there's a few different ways to do this. When I am using my second monitor, all I need to do is just put it in present mode. And so let me jump over to there and I'll show you what I mean by that. I'm just going to actually pick up this box and move it onto my second monitor here. And give me just 1 second as I resize it, and I'll show you how to do all of this stuff, but I just kind of want to give you a quick idea of what I mean. So this is the view now of just what is on my second computer monitor, and for me, when I'm ready to use a Google Slide prop or reward, all I do is go up to the top here. It's in this little white box. I know it might be a little bit difficult to see, and I just hit present. And that gets it ready for me to be able to do the things I need to do in ManyCam in order to show it to my student. Now, it is a little bit different when I'm doing this just off of my 1 monitor instead of my 2-monitor system. And in order to do it off of just 1 monitor, what you might do, again, I'm just going to move the view. Now this is just my main monitor. When you open up the reward or prop that you want to use, you want to look at your little address bar all the way up at the top here and find the word edit. So let's see, I can see it here. It's probably about 2/3 of the way into the little address here. So I'm going to highlight everything including the word edit, and after I'm going to delete, and here I'm going to type the word preview. And that's going to put it in sort of that same view that I showed off of my second monitor, but now it's only occupying space on my first monitor. And then from here, I can just tap into that reward and use it like I normally would. Okay, so the first step is you just want to set up your Google Slide rewards somewhere on your computer desktop. So like I said, that could be just on your first or main monitor, or it could be on your second monitor, whatever you prefer to do. The reason I like to have my Google Slide reward separated onto that second monitor is that I like it to be as big as it can be so that I can easily see it in class. And I like to spend as much time as I can looking directly at my main monitor, and then I just quickly glance over to the side as I operate that second monitor so that I don't get dinged in VIPKID for not looking at the student directly. Okay, so you'll just have to play around with how you like to organize things, and like I said, if you only have one monitor, you might be stuck with putting it on the same screen as you have your VIPKID app, your ManyCam app, and then your slides. But once you have opened up your reward or prop, it works the same way if you were using a prop. This is just a reward. What you're going to do is start yourself a new preset in ManyCam. So what you need to do for that is just the same steps that you always take. You're going to go ahead and click in that little plus button. And normally you might be used to selecting your camera and bringing yourself up on the screen, but that of course will make you very large on the screen and not leave much space in the background for a Google Slide prop or reward. So what you want to do here is, I'm just going to clear that out so we have some more space to work with it. So what you want to do is click on your plus button, and then you are going to select Desktop and Custom Area. And again, let me bring you back to the view of my entire computer desktop, because when you are on this view here, what you're doing is kind of using a viewfinder to take that custom desktop area and put it over your Google Slides props or rewards. So the first thing that you want to do is just click into that new preset that you just created, and you want to look around for a dashed line box. When you find that dashed line box on your computer desktop, for me, they're almost always in this upper left-hand corner where I'm sitting myself right now. For you, they might come up somewhere different. So I'll cut over to that screen. You can see this is that upper left-hand corner of my computer desktop. And when you find your little dashed line box, you want to take it and just drag it over your Google Slides props or reward. And then, of course, you can expand it to fit the view. So now with this, we have found our Google Slides props and rewards on our computer desktop. And one thing I want you to notice, of course, is that you are not on the screen yet. So in order to add yourself to the screen, what you want to do is just left click into your preset, and let me see if I need to get you guys a view of what that looks like. So I'm going to go to this screen. Okay, so left click into that slide that you just made, your preset that you just made, and you want to go down to Add New Layer. And on your new preset, that's going to bring you up a little black box. You can press your plus button, go to your camera, and select the correct camera for you, and now you are back on the screen. So if you're not using a green screen, that's really all you need to do. Of course, you can resize yourself. It's going to show your physical background behind you. But if you are using a green screen like I am, you'll need to follow the same steps that you normally do in order to get your green screen to go away. So I'm going to go over here to my chroma key, turn on my virtual background, select chroma key, and then I just choose the first option, which is transparent background, so that I don't take up as much space on this little props and rewards slide here. Now remember, just like when we are operating ManyCam in our VIPKID classroom, this view within our preset here is just a picture of the actual thing. So if I were to try to click on my preset box itself, I can't of course control my digital props or rewards from that box. I need to go over to my second monitor or the space that I saved on my first monitor in order to actually interact with it. So here my cursor, if I take you back to my desktop view, I know it's a little small. Look for a little pink thing, it's up in this box right here, is actually over the space that I had opened that digital reward in, okay, my Google Slide reward. It's not over my ManyCam screen because it can't control that. It's kind of like just a picture right now. Okay, and the next thing that you might notice is that I have black bars at the top and at the bottom of my little Google Slide reward here. And the reason for that is that your Google Slide rewards are often rectangular, and the settings that I have in ManyCam right now are more square, so that my video preset box fits squarely into my VIPKID teaching app. I can see people watching. Say hello. Tell me if you have any questions. Feel free to type them. If I don't know the answer, I'll try to help point you in the right direction. And I apologize, you might be able to hear my dogs. They're a little bit nervous with the fireworks happening tonight for New Year's. So, Happy New Year's, by the way. Okay, so now I have myself situated in my computer where I have my ManyCam and I've got my Google Slides. It doesn't matter whether I chose to put it on my first monitor or my second monitor. It's going to work the same way. But just again, be aware that you need to control it from the actual Google Slides, the real thing, not your preset here in ManyCam, because you can click around and nothing will happen. Now, what I've noticed while I'm using my Google Slides props and rewards with VIPKID is that often the picture quality for myself, my video of myself, is not super great, and sometimes I need to enlarge it a little bit. Even though it looks clear here on ManyCam, when it gets into VIPKID, it looks a little bit fuzzy, and sometimes it can be hard for your student to see. But you want to kind of do this picture-in-picture mode. I prefer to have myself small on the screen and the Google Slides Props or Reward large on the screen, and then I can move me anywhere I want to be, and we can talk about Africa or we can talk about America that way. You can, of course, do it the other way, where first you bring yourself up on the screen. So to do that, of course, you just select your camera, and then you would click into that box and select yourself a new layer. And now you could add yourself the Google Slides Props and Rewards into this new layer on this screen here. And to do that, of course, you would just follow the same steps. Click your plus button, go to your desktop custom area, and then take that dashed line box that's on your computer desktop and just slide it over your Google Slides Props and Rewards. Okay, so you can do it however you like. I just prefer to have the rewards big and me sort of tiny. If you're not using a green screen, I know a lot of people will do it this way where they have the rewards small and themselves what you're that I have several presets going in ManyCam in order to film this video, and I do have some pretty good specs on my computer. I've got a separate computer graphics processing card and a lot of RAM. The computer I use was purpose-built by my husband for PC gaming, and then he didn't do any gaming, so I kind of just confiscated the computer from him and said, I'm going to use it for my teaching and do some really cool digital props and reward stuff with it. So be aware, of course, that the more presets that you have and the more effects that you load into your presets, of course, the more computer processing power you might need to have. Now, in terms of the things that you can do in ManyCam, once you have loaded your Google Slides Props and Rewards into them, you can do all the same things that you always could do before. So if I wanted to add my name into this, I would just follow the same steps that I always do by going to my drawing and text feature. I'm going to just quickly get my name up on the screen here. I need to just change my color. There we go, and I can write Teacher Carrie if I want to. I don't usually do this with my students. I usually just show the reward. And of course I could go to my effects menu and maybe add a star if I wanted. So I can do whatever I want to do like I normally would in my ManyCam menu. So of course, the main things to remember are just that you're going to probably start a new preset. You're going to want to find your Google Slides Props and Rewards, head on over to that Google Slides official Facebook group to get started with that, and then you're going to choose a desktop custom area. At the beginning, I did say, of course, that there are many different ways that you can do this, and you might want to look on YouTube for a tutorial that makes more sense to you if you're not really understanding all the steps that you need to take from what I showed you today. And of course, everybody does things in a little bit different ways. I know there are some people who will make 2 different presets in ManyCam showing the same reward, and that way they can write on one of them to show that they've checked off that particular prop or reward. I don't really prefer to do that. I just like to keep it simple with one preset, and for me, I almost always use my preset box number 2 over here as my Google Slides Props and Rewards for each class. So in between classes, I'll just switch it out to the next reward that I want. And then I always just use my hotkeys to change over to number 2. And within VIPKID, let me pull up my VIPKID, pop you over here, and then I'm going to enlarge a view because I want you to see something. Okay, so this box just off to the side of me here is my actual VIPKID app. I'm going to be using that to teach my classes tomorrow. Oh, if you're still there on Facebook, let me know. Hopefully I didn't lose you. Okay, there we go. All right, so over here, I do use this little button to make my teaching square take the space of the of the slides in VIPKID. So you can make yourself bigger, and then I would just show my Google Slides props and rewards larger again than just keeping it in this little teaching square. So let me know if you have any questions. I'm going to jump off now before this video gets too long. I hope you have a great night and a happy new year. We'll see y'all later. Bye.